Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Pensacola International Superspeedway for the 2022 NRSL Crown Royal 300. I'm joined alongside by Vince Freeze as we get ready for 100 laps racing around this 3-mile superspeedway.
This
Vince,
is
are you
I'm
ready for
so
this?
excited, man. I'm so excited. I had not wait to the booth for once. That's always Pete stoked. But here we go, buddy. This is it. 4-quarter races, I like to say, 25 laps each to make this 100-lap event. Pitch strategy. We got two people who haven't had any racing all weekend, and we've had people had the most racing, avoided the most racks, and even were on the apron to win a race. But let's get to the starting lineup. I'm excited.
On the front row, locking in from front row qualifying, we have Logan York and Derek Green. Your heat winners in the next 5 positions: Jacob Athens, or was it Athens? I keep forgetting. Athens. What were we
Athens,
going with?
Athens,
Athens.
Athens. Yep.
Athens. All right. Daniel Brown alongside him. Keith Kent and Austin Tyler in row 3. And then McCall Skalicki is in row 4 with second place heat finisher Roy Ribbleton. Row 5, Austin Athens and Winnie Calhoun. Row 6, we've got Owen Miles and Dennis Moore. The other 91 car flipped wildly in last chance qualifier number 3. We'll see if the 910 fares better here today. Row 7, we've got James Cool Papa Bell, or however you want to say it, with Wade Pruitt alongside him. Chase Christ and Brandon Mayhew in row 8. Deanna Jones and Caitlin Coyne in row 9. Will Parrish, Levi Hayes, row 10. Blaine Saylor, AJ Vaughan, row 11. Christian Vargas and Austin Nash in row 12. Kev Shear and Eldon Reed, row 13. And the final of the drivers to advance through the heats, Fisher Miller on to the last chance qualifier winners. We have Gatlin Downey alongside Miller in row 14. Adam Flickinger and Yates Tursick in row 15. With the other LCQ winners, Daniel Dill and Donovan Cage in row 16. Up next, your second place finishers, Amanda Evans and Jim Ganton, row 17. Row 18 is Mike Black and Savannah Sawyer. And the last second place finisher of Justin Sills in row 19, alongside third place finisher Cole Raymond. Row 20's got Arena McShane and Robert Pollard. And in the final row, racing their way in, Chris Wilson and Gene Sanford, both of which, coincidentally enough, lucked into the LCQ as drivers pit ahead of them, allowing them to finish third. So that is our starting lineup for this year's Crown Royal 300. Vince, we're about to fire up those engines. Pit window is about 30 to 32 laps. I think it's going to be quite the show here today. As the drivers get the command, they will fire up the engines. We won't hear it up here this time. A couple of things
Yeah.
to note, Vince, that they've decided to do for the race this year. In the event of a caution, if there are any cars a lap down, one lap down, they will receive a free pass past the pace car, and they will have to do their best to catch up to the tail end of the field. And another thing that will be happening, and this is to minimize the amount of damaged cars off pace affecting the race for the lead. Any car that falls 2 laps down but cannot stay with the leaders will be told to park. So you can fall 2 laps down, like say someone has a flat tire and they have to pit and they fall 1 lap down, and then they get caught and they go 2 laps down. As long as they stay with the lead pack and they are up to speed completely, they can stay on the track. But if they are 10, 15 miles an hour off the pace and they get 2 laps down and they fall away from the lead pack, they will be told to park.
Yeah, I think that's for the safety of the competitors. We've seen how lap cars and damaged vehicle cars cause big ones, and over time can cause a leader win the race too on the last quarter of this race. But Zach, I do have some notes to get to, but I think I'm going to do that as we get to the quarter. So I'll say quarter one notes when we get into the race. We've seen everything this weekend: wrecks, flips, photo finishes in a way. And we've, like I said, the front two people haven't even seen any of this. So I guess it's only right to make a pick. I'm going to go with Roy Ribbleton. I think he's going to do something for this field, and I just think something about that car around eighth. I know the people in the back won last year, but I think the front gets it done this year. What are you thinking?
Well, Vince, I'm going to have to go with one of our heat winners, and that's going to be the 57 of Daniel Brown. I think he's got what it takes to win this race, and he's in prime starting position there in fourth place. Green flag is out, and we are underway here at Pensacola. As far as a bit of a dark horse pick, a driver from the LCQ, Vince, I'm going to have to take Donovan Cage in the 35.
Of course, I'll go with Chris Wilson. He's been in this position before last year as one of the possible favorites. I think he does it again. But how about Logan York? No trepidation, early start, bang bang, front.
And of course, as is with the racing here at Pensacola, we are 3 wide already, and it's Skalicki looking to be the one to lead the first lap. These cars snake their way down the front straightaway. Lap 1 complete. Skalicki, your race leader.
Yeah, we'll get to some of these early notes here, Zach. And believe it or not, the first yellow didn't come out last year on lap 11. And you could average about 25 cars past in this first segment because they're so bunched up. And the threat of the yellow, let's say lap 2 to 3, 4 is early. There's really none. But I will get aggressive, though. We've seen it, but with a different package and a little bit faster speeds compared to the 220, what was it, 226, 227 in those LCQs the other night.
Yeah,
Could be a little different.
they're going about, I want to say, 228, 229 into the corner here today.
Yeah, so conditions are definitely a little faster, as you see here. Looks like we're going to go full. No, we back it off.
Mayhew thought about making a move on James Bell, but Parrish got alongside him, and Skalicki got a heck of a run on the top down the front straightaway, and he clears everybody. But you definitely want to position yourself at the right, at the front, or away from the 4 wide, because that is where wrecks tend to occur. You can see they're really going crazy there in the back. All throughout the weekend, all throughout the weekend, I believe the longest we've gone without a wreck was 6 laps.
Yeah, I believe 6 laps was it, and I think Leffler led 6 laps, ironically. But as you see, some 4 wide, bet they're all going to keep it going. How about Skalicki up front, man? He's keeping it pretty in check, but there's going to be some threats coming in the back for sure.
And you know, Vince, we always saw that one car in each heat race and last chance qualifier that seemed to have the pace to win. And you know, Skalicki, I felt like, was that driver in his heat race, and he is showing that that car is just as good here in the main event.
Yeah, and I think understanding that draft, understanding where to place it is a key. But
we got separation. Caution flag is out from what I'm hearing. And yes, indeed, there it is. So Skalicki will lead him under the yellow. And Amanda Evans is peeking under Daniel Dill there on the apron for some reason. Seeing some damage on the 86 of Chase Christ. Eldon Reed is all jacked up on the front end. Along with some more drivers here in the back. Ooh, take it easy, everybody. Oh, Austin Tyler the Heat 5 winner. He's got damage. It looks like Daniel Brown, my pick, might have been involved. And you can see the skid marks there in turns 3 and 4. As I believe the 36 of Justin Sills and the 180 of Christian Vargas have already called it a day. Well, let's see what the pit strategy is going to be here, Vince, because, you know, you can make it 30 laps on gas. So what you do here is going to be important.
Yeah, 30 to 32. I think we're going to see a mix. Most of the field's coming.
And Savannah Sawyer appears to be the only driver electing to stay out. So very interesting call. It's early. Nothing wrong with a call like this. But let's take you to look at the first yellow of the day. Taking a look at the first yellow flag of the day. And I believe this is going to start with Austin Tyler and Keith Kent, who are just in front of Christian Vargas. See the red and the blue car in the middle. To the inside, yep, they're going to go right up in the Chase Christ. Vargas gets put in the outside wall. Mayhew with nowhere to go. Dennis Moore's going to barely squeak by that, but Eldon Reed, Justin Sills, Austin Nash, and Moore with nowhere to go. Oh, and Sills gets sent straight up the track hard into the outside wall. It's a good job by Terzic slowing up. Owen Miles, though, is going to get pushed into the outside wall. Nothing he could do there. He was on the brakes. Deanna Jones, Winnie Calhoun also all on the brakes. Great job. Oh, and the 18 there of Jacob Athens just barely gets clipped. That was the first wreck of the day. You saw Justin Sills took a hard lick in the 36. Let's take another look at this in full speed. Oh, and that was a hard hit right to the driver's side, Vince.
Yeah, those ones sting and hurt the next day. We'll see if we'll go to the infield care center, get some treatment, and then come back for an interview.
All right, with that said, we'll take you guys to the race restart. Something has occurred on pit road during pit stops, and it starts with the 29 of Roy Ribbleton and the 16 of Austin Athens. So you're going to see Athens pull into his pit box, and Ribbleton will pull into his. These drivers started 8th and 9th. So a lot of drivers taking 2 tires, some taking fuel only. And Donovan Cage in the 35 is going to come here into frame, trying to get into his stall as Athens is trying to come out. And then Athens will drive straight into the back of Ribbleton. And that is going to end Austin's day. You see him turn back to the right, and he gets hit by Logan York. And then this is going to check up everybody trying to leave the pit lane. As you see up ahead, something happened with Mike Black and Jim Ganton. Ribbleton's team, meanwhile, they fixed the damage on the back end. They got real quick to work. Vince beat that right out. You see them already leaving their pit stall. But
what in the world?
Ganton is trying to get it backed around, and everybody is trying to get out. See another issue similar there with Derek Green and Logan York up ahead. But the drivers have gotten all of this sorted out, and we are going to go back racing. Getting ready to go back racing. We'll have 93 laps to go. Early exits from the event: Christian Vargas, Justin Sills, Heat 5 winner Austin Tyler, and Eldon Reed, as well as the 16 of Austin Athens. So all 5 of those drivers are done for today. 37 cars remain on track. We'll have to see how many of those are up to speed. Savannah Sawyer, the only driver to stay out under the yellow. James Bell second, Amanda Evans third, Blaine Sailor, fourth, Chris Wilson fifth, McCoskalicki sixth, Derek Green seventh, Kev Shearer eighth, Robert Pollard ninth, and Arena McShane rounds out the top 10. Cars that are on track with some damage: Brandon Mayhew, Keith Kent, Jacob Athens, Daniel Brown, and Logan York. We don't know the extent of the damage. All cars appear to be somewhat okay, but we'll have to see. There might be some hidden performance damage amongst them.
Car pulls off. This is going to be an interesting restart, Zach. So we're all about old tires. Let's see if that makes a difference as we hit the restart zone and go green back at Pensacola for lap 8.
So, Vince, you did all the studying, so I want to know what was the average difference between the first caution and the second in recent history. Because, you know, obviously early accident there, lap 4, the cars are all strung out single file now, but they can get back to 3-4 wide pretty quickly. So could we expect to go 10 laps, or are we looking at maybe less than that?
That's exactly what happened last year. Lap 11, the first yellow, lap 21, the second. That's about the 10-lap window. Let's say we start with, say, lap 4 here, lap 8 restart. I'm saying we could do lap 14 to 18 could be the next caution. Or, because we have an interesting leader out front, we could go an extra couple laps, but I expect the same time frame for another yellow. As you can see, the performance damage is too in the back. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Mostly singled out there behind this front 10. As Sawyer holds on to the lead, James Bell will peek to the inside. Hole was left open. And Bell will look to take the race lead away from Sawyer.
Papa Bell has been making a name for himself this week throughout these speed weeks, as I like to say. As there's Logan York, the pole sitter.
You talk about performance damage. He is only hitting 206 by himself. A healthy car can hit about 219, 220 by themselves. So York definitely going to be hindered the rest of the event. Looks like Brandon Mayhew, Austin Nash are also struggling to hang on. Keith Kent's car appears to be completely fine. He has just been held up by slower cars. Daniel Brown and Jacob Athens also struggling to hang, as you got a couple of other cars back here. Owen Miles, Chase Christ, Yates, Terzic, Donovan Cage, Mike Black, Deanna Jones. They appear to be up to speed. They are just struggling to hold on to the group, as you see 231 out of Deanna Jones there in the draft. As Vince McCoskalicki was leading before the yellow, and now he finds himself almost outside the top 20 as Cole Raymond looks for the race lead.
That's the effect of, well, I got the car out front, everything's perfectly set up, just don't touch it, and then boom, you get a yellow, get back in the pit cycle, and now you got to get through that dirty air and back to the front again somehow.
Right now you got Cole Raymond and Blaine Sailor side by side. Daniel Dill's going to look to make it 3 wide. There's Gene Sanford, who started in last place, up at the front of the field.
Talked about how you can get it to the back to the front, 25 positions average, and Gene Sanford's looking to do the whole field, despite some cars being out.
Already back to that 4 wide. We've got a total of 24 cars tightly knit here in the pack, with a couple of more. Make it 27 cars, actually. Oh, what is Dennis Moore doing? Straddling the apron. I'm not sure what the deal is with that strategy play. That's going to check up the bottom lane. And that's going to allow, I believe, Robert Pollard, Chase Christ to catch up. So we could be up to a 30-31 car pack now, as Sailor takes the race lead. AJ Foggin right behind him. A little bit of race history. This 14 car back in the Pizza Hut 300 back in 2016 was leading the race at the end when he got passed for the lead in the final few laps. And he ended up finishing, I want to say, 4th or 5th. It might have been 6th, but he was up there. I believe it was Henry Williams who drove the car that year. So props to Fagan for getting this car back in the main event.
Looking for the lead here, but not much help coming from behind. It's Fisher Miller on the outside. Let's see. Yep, he's going to peek down.
It looks like this 26 car is hooked up again like last year when Cole Deaver was behind the wheel, Vince.
Yeah, sir. Same cars sometimes have that magic, and they just don't let it go no matter who's behind the wheel. But it's early on. We're about to hit lap 50. We are, I think, on lap 15 almost. So we're 3/5 of the way through this first quarter. Seems like there's no clear definitive car, even though Lcqs, if he gets back there, could be the threat. As a threat.
You're seeing now for sure that Logan York is off pace, as is Mayhew and Nash. Keith Kent appeared to be okay and up to speed, but he is by himself. Brown and Jacob Athens in a draft, as is Donovan Cage and Owen Miles, as it looks like Chase Christ is on the verge of losing the draft, as is Robert Pollard. Christ was involved in the accident. Pollard was not. So Pollard perhaps just struggling to keep up after he got held up by some slower cars, as they are going crazy up here, Vince. 4 wide again.
What we love to see here at Pensacola is crazy racing, but sometimes too early could get a little bit close to the second big accident, as you see. Oh, man, it's getting hairy.
Oh, and there they go. Oh, and Wade Pruitt looked like he was up on his side there for a moment. Oh, this is dangerous. Oh, he got split.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yates Tursick involved. Adam Flickinger was in it. Of course, Wade Pruitt. Caution flag is out. Derek Green, the race leader. As Arena McShane and Winnie Calhoun.
Watch out, watch out, watch out. Keep it together.
They are gonna save it. That could have been disastrous. Kev Shear was also involved in that. We saw him do a quick spin, keep going. Owen Miles is going to give him a little tap.
A little left tap right there. Nothing too harmful.
But Wade Pruitt is definitely done. I think he took the hardest look out of anybody. It's not often that they wreck going down the banking along the back straightaway, Vince, so we'll have quite the unique accident to look at. But first we want to see what the pit strategy is. I would expect Savannah Sawyer to want to pit now, but you could still technically go another 15 laps here if you get another quick yellow in 10 laps.
Yeah, maybe if you saved enough fuel, you can go 35, maybe stretch it, and we're going to have a split strategy, I think.
Sawyer will pit. And it looks like Robert Pollard will pit. Kev Shearer will pit. Keith Kent will pit. And Yates Tursick, I believe that is for damage. But that is really it. So everybody else elected to stay out. So Derek Green, your race leader. Let's take a look at the second caution flag of the day. Taking a look at the replay. It's just going to start with Wade Pruitt and Adam Flickinger. Flickinger, one of the last chance qualifier winners. Yates Tursick also involved, the last chance qualifier winner. Down they go into Kevin Tursick, and they were the only ones involved, but Wade Pruitt is going to take a hard lick inside wall, 190 miles an hour, Vince. Look at the right side's right up off the track. Somehow this car doesn't flip over. That That was a hard hit.
This is the scary part coming back up here, and you see some cars in your mirror there flying at 210, 15.
Thankfully, nobody hit him. Right there through the smoke went Miles and Cage. And he got split by a few others. But that was a heavy hit. Let's take one more look at this in full speed. We'll use the same angle. 190 plus right here into the inside wall. Man. And he was able to drive back to pit road too, Vince. That's crazy.
It's impressive. I gotta say, that thing's built of steel or something.
And we've got an onboard here with the 31 of Adam Flickinger. On board with the number 31. He hits the inside wall as well, not as hard as Pruitt did. You see Terzic spinning around through the grass with him. Oh, and then Adam gets right into him again. We didn't catch that before. Insult to injury for Adam and Terzic. Let's get you back to the restart. Alright, race fans, getting ready to go back racing here. We'll have 82 laps to go. Adam Flickinger and Wade Pruitt are the only two to retire from that incident. Terzic will continue, and Kev Shearer just had a little bit of door damage there, so we'll see how up to speed that 23 machine is. Derek Green is the race leader. Most of the field stayed out. Blaine Saylor in second, Deanna Jones third, AJ Fogg in fourth, Caitlin Coyne fifth, Mike Black sixth, James Bell seventh, Jim Ganton eighth, Arena McShane ninth, and Winnie Calhoun rounds out the top 10. We've still got a long way to go and a lot of drivers in the race. Vince, what was the trend there from yellow 2 to yellow 3 in previous events?
11 to 21. This one was about 4 to 14. I think we could get a third one, but it'd be close to being quarter 2. Quarter 1, I think we're going to find out who has the strongest car for this first stint. And I'll let you take it back to green, buddy.
Pace car peels off the pit lane. Going to look at it down the whole front straightaway here. Green flag will fly back out. And look at all the drivers jumping to the top on the green. And Saylor going to waste no time. Right to the inside of Green he goes, as does Foggin to the inside of Deanna Jones.
See Coyne and Black teaming up there, as you could see. Saylor's had a good car, man. He's been one of those sneaky good competitors. Is no restart speed for Green. He's just dropping like a rock and might go 4 wide. But
they are going to go 4 wide there. That was
boy.
Levi Hayes with the move there on McShane and Jones. That will settle quickly since Green is still getting up to speed. But Green really getting shuffled back. And that's what happens sometimes when you're the leader on restarts at tracks like these. You get put to the top, you've got no draft, and you are going to fall backwards really quickly.
School Papa Bell looking for that second place and see if he can make a run at the lead with some help.
And he's going to make a move to the inside of Foggin. Help from Jim Ganton, Levi Hayes, Winnie Calhoun, and more.
And Jim Ganton was spinning in the pit lane on caution 1. Now he's looking for the lead.
And thankfully, he was not hit hard at all. You see Roy Ribbleton up here in the pack, too. He is not hindered from that incident either. As we are officially 1/5 of the way through the event. So you see them kind of trailing out here. Fisher Miller, Derek Green, Chase Christ. That is 21st to 23rd. Owen Miles, Jacob Athens, Daniel Brown, Donovan Cage. You see Pollard, Sawyer, Keith Kent. I believe they were held up by slower cars. Kev Shearer appears to be kind of off pace. But we know Sawyer is up to speed, as is Pollard. They have just been getting hung up by slower traffic. Drivers such as Logan York really putting a hindering on them. So they are going to need another yellow if they want to get back into this, as Sawyer's going to put a move on Pollard and pin him behind Donovan Cage. So the Dodge drivers not working together at all. And they are going to lose the main pack, mostly because of getting stuck behind the 35.
That's part of it, is they're getting a little wild up here. No 4 wides as yet, but 3 wide.
Levi Hayes has taken the lead for the first time today, as Will Parrish is up behind him. The Jack Daniels #1 Chevy was one of 2 single-digit cars to make the main event. Him and the 9 of Austin Nash. None of the other single-digit entries made the race.
Yeah, double and triple won this year for the entry award, but that's expected.
I'm actually going to take a quick total here if I can. The number of triple digits that made it. I believe we had 18 total triple-digit numbers make it this year, Vince.
Yeah, it's a healthy number. It's about, quick math in my head, 9 out of 21. So.
Well, and if you think about it too, this was the first year we had a full 177 entry list, and last year we only had 103, and not a lot of triple-digit numbers were signed up for. Same thing back in 2019 when we had 132 entries. So, this was the year where everything kind of got flip-flopped.
Ooh, watch out there.
That was Hayes and somebody else I thought were 4 wide. No, it's McShane and Ribbleton that are 4 wide, as Amanda Evans is looking for the race lead. Evans getting a push from Gatlin Downey. Now, Evans did not win her LCQ race, but she appeared to have a strong car, and she is showing that again here today in the main event.
Yeah, just got to lead this lap and win quarter 1. Let's see who does that. So we hit lap 25.
And just to be clear, we're not doing stage cautions or anything. Vince is just referring to the race in quarters.
Yeah, watch out.
Oh, there's another spin. Oh, Hayes, Bell, and Christ all go around, and everybody in that second pack is going to miss them somehow. And they slammed on the brakes for it, too. Third caution of the day on lap 25, and it's Evans who leads them at the stripe.
It's a mini Rex this year, which is similar to last year. Someone going to the apron there.
That's Derek Green. Just trying to be safe, I think. Give some people some more room. Stay slower down. And they're just slowly dropping this year, Vince. No big one like we're used to seeing at Pensacola and Digital Storm or Jerky Pro. Just small little wrecks. Oh, no. Here we go. Austin Nash is going to get into Cage's back bumper bit. That gave him some front damage. But that was a big wreck. We've got another replay to look at, Vince. Let's see what the pit strategy is going to be here, though. Lap 26 now.
This should take us into the 50s if they all come now.
Believe they would be able to make it to 56, 57, and then 86, 87. Let's see if we have any takers here. It looks like most of the field will pin. It's Savannah Sawyer once again. She pit under the last yellow, stays out this time. Keith Kent's going to move up. Yates Terzic, who's got damage, is going to move up.
It came in under the last yellow, though. So that's probably expected.
Let's see if we got any other drivers who stayed out. Doesn't look like it. So these three stay out, and we're going to take a look at the third caution flag of the day. Well, third crash, same as the second crash, and it's going to start with James Bell just not giving Levi Hayes any room. Look at all the room to the left of the 840 Vince. Plenty of room between him and Chase Christ, and these two just hook into each other, and down the track they go, and Christ is barely going to clip them. And we see a similar accident to the one before. And none of them hit the inside wall, and then Christ gets into James Bell again, and that almost tips him up and over. That would have been a crazy accident. You see Bell's going to hit the wall here at a $110. Hayes is going to hit it at about the same. And then watch this second pack here. Just slam the brakes. Sawyer makes it by. Look at Jacob Athens. Went straight to the top at the bottom of the screen to miss them both by a needle each. Keith Kent pulls up. Almost gets into Levi Hayes. But that was a close one. For a lot of these drivers, those would have been heavy impacts.
Great avoidance skill by everybody.
But that's a tough break for all involved, and we will take you to the race restart. Getting ready to go back racing, and we will have 72 laps to go in this one. Levi Hayes, James Bell, Chase Christ all done for the day. That leaves us with 32 cars on the track. Vince, they are dropping like flies.
Yeah, I think these first three here, especially with Terzic with the damage, man, this is could get hairy this restart.
Sawyer is the leader. Keith Kent second. Terzic is third with the damage. Mike Black fourth. Amanda Evans fifth. Will Parrish sixth. Chris Wilson seventh. Jim Ganton eighth. Dennis Moore ninth. And Blaine Saylor rounds out the top 10. We've had 3 cautions within the first 25 laps. I think that's the first time we've done that in a while. We didn't do it last year. We only had the 2 yellows in the first 25. Vince, did we have 3 cautions last year or 4?
I'll check again. I believe it was 4, though.
All right, so we might just be due for one more wreck. I think it really is going to depend how many cars we have up to speed here, because it seems to keep happening when we go 4 wide. Sawyer will lead him to the restart. 72 laps left in this
Zach,
one.
The fourth yellow was lap 66, though. This would be a long stretch. I don't know if we can do it. We'll see.
Yes, indeed. That would be a long stretch from lap 25. Usually once a round of green flag pit stops occurs, it's usually good to go. Unless something strange happens passing lap cars. Something with spotters not clearing them or whatnot. That's usually the case for accidents to happen that late in the going.
And we have seen it in Digital Storm with Bitswater, a couple others in that one wreck we had.
Oh yes, back in 2020. Keith Kent is showing that he is up to speed by leading this thing, and Terzic does not appear to be too bad. As we're already 4 wide again, though. That's Saylor and Dennis Moore rubbing doors. They're going to make it work out here, and looks like Terzic is going to hold up that top lane. That's going to shove Black, Sawyer, and Chris Wilson there backwards. See Arena McShane, Deanna Jones, and others trying to make it work on the bottom. There you see Robert Pollard in this pack, showing that he is up to speed. See Fisher Miller getting around the 18 of Jacob Athens. Tim and Owen Miles, they've been slightly off pace since the first accident. Same with Daniel Brown, Donovan Cage, Mayhew, Nash, and of course Logan York. as Foggin is going for the race lead on Caitlin Coyne.
Janet Jones is always a threat anywhere we go and looking for the lead as well.
And Cole Raymond is going to be the first to make it 4 wide for the lead all race here on lap 31. That's going to send Coyne to the back.
Did you see Gatlin Downey, one of our LCQ winners, looking to make a threat here?
And here comes McCall Skalicki, Vince. First time back to the front since that first stage of racing. First 6 laps before that yellow. And Skalicki has finally found the way to get back to the front of the field. So we'll see if this 790 Chevy still has the same pace from before.
See, but Downey's going to think about that and say, hey, I'm going to take this pass, as you see.
Oh!
No!
Gene Sanford, Chris Wilson, and others, and what a save by Gene Sanford! And I believe we are staying green, but that has separated the field. As Sawyer is going to the pit. No, that's McShane. I'm sorry. McShane is going to the pit lane for damage. Door damage on the driver's side. Gene Sanford somehow saved her car while it was sliding through the grass. But that really separated the field up. You see Mike Black, Daniel Dill, Robert Pollard, Savannah Sawyer. Yes, they are still racing 4 wide at the front of the field as Cole Raymond leads them.
These guys and gals are madmen today, and women. They're laying it all on the line. But Cole Raymond got the lead right now. We know Amanda Evans is always strong at these plate races.
So Skalicki being back at the front was short-lived. He's now back on the top. There is Arena McShane. She will fall a lap down. Amanda Evans will make a move to the inside of Raymond, looking for the race lead. AJ Foggin will move to the inside of Parrish to go with her. Now, Vince, you got to wonder if they can make it go green all the way now that they've separated the pack up a little bit.
I wouldn't doubt another yellow. I just think they're going to eventually catch up, and that's when things get pretty hairy. As you see, it looks like Ribbleton might get forced 4 wide here. Yep.
Just saw Gene Sanford on the pit lane fixing her damage as well from that incident that did not warrant a yellow flag. So that is another car a lap down. Remember, with the new rules this year, if you get a yellow, you can get back on the lead lap. Oh, and there is going to be the yellow. Winnie Calhoun is upside down. Derek Green involved. Fisher Miller. Oh, Chris Wilson threading the needle there. There it is, Vince. 4th caution on lap 35. And that saved Gene Sanford from potentially going another lap down. And these drivers, Vince, if they pit here, they might be able to stretch one more pit stop if it goes green the rest of the race.
Yeah, that's a big if right now. That's for sure.
Almost forgot to look at the back of the pack. Oh, and they're going to check it up. Oh, Daniel Brown, Donovan Cage, Chris Wilson. All get together. Props to them for not doing it on the first 3 yellows, but this time it was too much of an underestimation there of how much they needed to break, and Wilson pays the biggest price for it.
I think everyone's coming in.
That appears to be the case. Yes, indeed. Everybody but the lap down machines of Arena McShane and Gene Sanford will pit here. So the drivers are expecting to make it work from here, perhaps, with another pit stop in the middle. But if we get a 5th caution, that would really mess up the strategy play all over again. But we're under our 4th yellow of the day. First, let's take a look at what happened with the incident with Gene Sanford and Arena McShane, and then we'll take a look at what brought out the 4th caution of the race. This is going to start with Robert Pollard and Arena McShane, who are in the middle 4 wide. Gene Sanford is moving up the track. I'm not sure if maybe she was going to let Wilson get to the inside here, but that would have made it 5 wide. Right there, she moves up as Pollard and McShane come down. That gets all of them together. Chris Wilson gets pushed down the track as well. Those 3 save it. Sanford, you can see, is slowly turning her car back to the left as she locks it up. And she gets back in the grass. And somehow, right about there, she's able to get it pointed straight. Swings it back to the right. And full control of her race car. That prevented an accident from occurring, but an accident still did occur several laps later. Taking a look at the 4th yellow of the day, and Fisher Miller is just already right up Winnie Calhoun's right rear quarter panel for no particular reason, and just hooks him to the right into the outside wall. And then Derek Green has nowhere to go, gets into him. Turns them up the track, and then a little bit of a sandwich here. It's going to flip Calhoun upside down. Look at Will Parrish. Great job on the brakes. That's our first flip all race, Vince. We came close with Wade Pruitt earlier on, but he did not go all the way over. Calhoun gives us our first flip of the Crown Royal 300.
Yeah, we've been pretty clean on that front. Not many flips, except for that one right there.
Arena McShane makes the smart decision here. She was turning down, then she turns back up. That prevents her from getting involved. She likely would have drilled the 26. Then more drivers came in here flying. Wilson committed to the bottom. You see him jerking it towards the apron. And he is going to split the gap here on the 26 and 74. As well as the 980. So, Vince, both of our front row qualifiers involved in an accident here today. And honestly, like looking at the starting grid, a lot of the front runners from our top 10 have been involved in an incident. Logan York, Derek Green, Jacob Athens, Daniel Brown, Keith Kent, Austin Tyler, Roy Ribbleton, Austin Athens, Winnie Calhoun. The only clean driver out of the top 10 has been McCall Skalicki. Of course, Keith Kent, Jacob Athens, Daniel Brown, they all continue, as does Roy Ribbleton. But the only true clean car has been the 790 of McCall Skalicki.
And he's been one of the strongest cars, too, ironically. So let's see if he can put that to the front this next run.
There's the 790. I missed them before. But we will get you guys to the race restart, and hopefully it'll be the last one, because I don't think anybody... Actually, no, Skalicki's got door damage too. Never mind. Nobody's clean from the top 10. Never mind. I was mistaken. Anyways, let's get you to the restart. Getting ready to go back racing. Gene Sanford has just been given the wave around to get back on the lead lap. Out of the race from that, Chris Wilson and Winnie Calhoun. Arena McShane went down the pit lane. The 26 of Fisher Miller also out. 35 of Donovan Cage, and the 57 of Daniel Brown have also all called it a day. That's going to leave us with 27 cars on the track. Gene Sanford racing around right now. Marina McShane coming out of the pit lane has also been told to go by the pace car. She is not likely to catch back up, though. So she will have to put that foot to the floor and try and get around this 3-mile superspeedway. But Amanda Evans is our race leader here. We'll be coming to a restart. 62 laps to go. It's going to be right in the window to make it on a stop. Caitlin Coyne is second. Cole Raymond third. Blaine Saylor fourth. Jim Ganton fifth. Gatlin Downey sixth. Deanna Jones seventh. AJ Foggin eighth. Dennis Moore ninth. And Keith Kent is 10th. Daniel Dill, Robert Pollard, Owen Miles, Will Parrish, Roy Ribbleton, Yates Terzic, Mike Black, Savannah Sawyer, Jacob Athens, Kev Shear, the top 20, with Logan York, McCall Skalicki, Brandon Mayhew, Austin Nash, and Derek Green. Rounding out the top 25. All right, Vince. Green flag is back out.
Yes, sir. We're midway through quarter two, a little bit past now. Things are starting to get a little bit more thinned out, though, and I think that's the biggest storyline. We haven't had the major one. It's been small wrecks, similar to last year.
Very true. I want to say the first year this race was run, it was like one really big wreck and then another small wreck. And then that was pretty much it. I think it went green the rest of the way. I'll have to double check my notes. But the first race back in 2016 only had 5 or 6 drivers at the end fighting for the win. I don't really remember how many we had at the end of the race last year. I think we had a decent group.
Oh, yeah, we did. We had a really good group, and then a lap car came in, and we still had at least 15, believe it or not, 20.
We'll have to see. If this race goes green from here, how many of these drivers will be able to group back up, because pit stops tend to split up the field at tracks like this.
Right now, though, it seems like there's a move by Deanna Jones, but no major help. Now it's coming.
Seeing a lot of moving around near the back of the pack as Amanda Evans leads. Let's take a quick look and see who is up here. See who is trying to stay up in the draft. Oh, it's Jim Ganton's gonna pit. We're hearing Ganton has an issue. He's got door damage from something. But Ganton has an issue and he's gonna bring it down the pit lane. And that is a tough break for him because he appeared to be up to speed. So we see Derek Green, Logan York, Austin Nash, Brandon Mayhew. They are all off pace. Yates Terzic as well. Gene Sanford, Kev Shear, they have a little bit of door damage. Jacob Athens, I believe, has something similar. Robert Pollard has lost draft again as McCall Skalicki is fighting to hang on. That would make this a 17 car group. 16 car group, as Pollard would make 17.
They're still 4 wide.
Indeed, they are still 4 wide. There's Ganton coming off the pit lane. As Caitlin Coyne looks for the lead on Amanda Evans. How about Owen Miles? We thought he was off pace for most of the race, but it appears he has just been stuck being outside of the main pack, and now he is fighting for the race lead with help from Will Parrish and Blaine Saylor, 2 fellow Chevrolets, against another Chevrolet of Caitlin Coyne.
Ironically, Zach, I just looked back at the notes. Lane Sanford led the field under quarter 1 under yellow last year, and this year was Amanda Evans as we go 4 wide again.
And they are
2 rows.
They are, 2 rows of 4 wide. Like, Man, guys, they really want to just destroy every car this year, it seems.
They're going to do it in the smallest fashion possible. 2, 3 cars, and that's it.
Caitlin Coyne holds off Owen Miles, so perhaps some of that damage is still showing for the 30 machine. So he gets put in the middle now by Dennis Moore. But 27 cars still on the racetrack, but only 16 of which are fighting for this lead. It's going to be a lot easier to tell, Vince, who has the car to beat and who doesn't.
I would say right now, I don't think it matters who leads, though. With pit stops coming, this race could really become a numbers game. If you have a 4 or 5 car group coming versus 1 or 2, you want to be in that 4 to 5 car group. Pitting solo here is just not the option.
Taking a look at who's left up here from our heat winners, we've got Keith Kent in the 480 and the 790 of McCall Skalicki. And then out of our LCQ winners, we've got the 560 of Gatlin Downey and the 730 of Daniel Dill. So a chance for somebody to be both a heat winner and a main event winner in the same year. As Dennis Moore in the 910 looks to the inside of Caitlin Coyne. Dennis finished second in heat number 2 behind Daniel Brown. As the only other driver from heat 2 up here is Blaine Saylor, James Bell, Christian Vargas out of the race alongside Daniel Brown.
Sawyer for the lead. That's Mike Black looking, you guessed it, 4-1.
Taking a little bit of a closer look at who is still here from the heats. You got Keith Kent, Deanna Jones, Will Parrish from heat 1. From heat 3, pretty much everybody is either out of the race or damaged or off pace. As Levi Hayes is out of the race. Yeah, so I think from heat 3, it's just Jacob Athens and Kev Shearer left, and they are off the pace. So Mike Black takes the lead. From heat 4, you got Skalicki up here, you got Roy Ribbleton, you got AJ Foggin. We know Pruitt is out, and Nash is off pace. And then from heat 5, we've just got Caitlin Coyne up here at the front. Owen Miles also up here at the front, but he appears to maybe have a little bit of damage as Black and Ribbleton have drafted their way a bit of the ways away from the pack.
The old school 2-car tandem is back. And I think that's the best way to play it on these last 2 laps of the race if they get that far. Because it seems like 2 is better than, well, for a minute there, 2 was better than, 12, 13?
Something like that, yeah.
Let's see if Mike Black can scoot back in line and still try to do the 2-car.
I think Sawyer's got a run here. She's peeking down the track. So after looking at the heats there, that brings me to the LCQs. You got Robert Pollard from the first one, who is on track but out of pack. Second LCQ, you have Terzic, who's damaged. You got Wilson, who's out, and you got Ganton, who had to just pit there. LCQ number 3 is in full form. Vince Downey, Sawyer, and Cole Raymond all up here fighting for this thing. Almost true with LCQ number 4. Daniel Dill and Amanda Evans up here. Arena McShane had that free pass, but she was unable to get back to the pack before the restart. And then from LCQ number 5, you've got Mike Black up here, and then Gene Sanford, who was on track but damaged.
Mike Black looking for potentially the lead soon. So I think this is a good mix of group, a good mix of drivers from LCQs and heats. It's pretty statistically strung out well, as we're almost hitting lap 50, the halfway point of this.
All right, Vince, so you got the data. Who won quarter 2 there? Who was leading at the completion of lap 50?
Yeah, last year, lap 50, it was, I think it was H.W. Turner. I think it was Heather Wellington Turner, if I'm not mistaken.
Heather Wellington Turner, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, this year, I don't know. We only had 18 passes, the average last year in Q2. This year, I couldn't tell you because I had to watch the replay and look it over for next year. But it's been about the same. It's just with less cars, we had about 32. I think at this point last year, 33. It was a pretty clean race. This year has been a lot of small wrecks and a lot of small checkups.
We'll be coming to that halfway point. We're on the longest green flag run of the day. From the restart now, 12 laps strong. As the drivers, I think, are trying to jinx me as they're about to go 4 wide. But it will be just 3 wide. Dennis Moore has taken the lead here, Vince, and appears to be leading the field as well as Lcqs was earlier in the race.
Yeah, as you see, it was that 4 wide, and they're going to back it off. They tried. Evans tried. But it looks like Moore's going to try to take this halfway lead here and see if he can set sail into the pit stops up front for track position.
I was just noticing at the back of the pack, it looks like Gatlin Downey is almost losing the pack. Moore will lead at the halfway mark, but Downey has a healthy car. I'm shocked to say that he is on the verge of losing the draft, as they are going to catch Arena McShane, so that might help out. McShane is up to speed, so she should form right up into this fleet pack. Moore is going to look to her outside, and he will zoom right on past.
Not bad, Zach. Lap 52 was the first lap car last year. Lap 51 this year. How about that?
And Coyne will check up, but Miles, Evans, Saylor, Keith Kent all by on the bottom. Daniel Dill held up. There's a little bit of 4 wide. But McShane is up to speed. She should be up to speed here soon from the draft. And that should allow the rest of this pack to draft back up to the front runners. As our next lap car is going to be a ways away. Derek Green, Austin Nash, Logan York, Yates Terzic, and Brandon Mayhew are all packed up, running only 2 seconds off pace. But if one of these guys loses draft, they will plummet down to 205 miles an hour. So then you see Robert Pollard with Gene Sanford, Kev Shearer, Jacob Athens, and Jim Ganton. Mostly single file here, looking for the need of a yellow flag to put them back in the race. So then you see the main pack still kind of separated. Arena McShane, maybe she's not as up to speed as I thought she was, because she has held up Downey, Skalicki, Sawyer, and Roy Ribbleton. And Daniel Dill and Foggin are pulling away. But Dennis Moore, Vince, continues to lead here at Pensacola. Lap 53 out of 100. We don't usually do this, but me and Vince, we're going to take a quick step aside, and we'll be back here from Pensacola. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Pensacola Superspeedway. Lap 57 out of 100 here for the 2022 NRSL Crown Royal 300. Dennis Moore lost the lead during the break, but he has taken it right on back. Meanwhile, Gatlin Downey has lost touch with the pack. That leaves us at 15 cars. Arena McShane also there behind the 560, as you saw him for a brief second at the top of the picture. These drivers are going to catch these 5 cars of Derek Green, Logan York, Brandon Mayhew, Austin Nash, and Yates Terzic, all off the pace by about 10 miles an hour. And that is going to make things very interesting, Vince, as pit stops loom somewhere around lap 67 to 70.
Yeah, we got a little ways to go before we get to that third quarter ending, or those pit stops. But it seems like from what I saw in that commercial break, I want to be in those top 4 positions because there's only 15 cars. The outside and inside can be pretty equal at certain points. Especially right now, the outside's got to run. As Natter's starting to drop, the inside preparing for that positioning of those lap cars.
You see Moore with the run down the back straightaway, holds off Caitlin Coyne's move. So the other thing that helps with the top side is if they are crazy 4 wide behind them, it takes away from cars on the bottom. And also a little bit of that tie wear maybe kicking in, Vince, allowing that top side to get those runs.
Yeah, there's not much, but it's enough, especially with the sunshine being this Florida track. to heat those tires up and get some degradation. But I'm telling you, man, looks like right now Moore has been the more out front.
Okay. That was poor.
Yeah, that was probably my worst one. But how about Mike Black, though, looking to pull a Dorito spice on that field for the lead? He'll take it. Now, here we go. This is
Derek
the
Green
lap
lost
car
touch.
haven.
Derek Green lost touch with them a little bit, so I don't think he's going to get back up to him here, so he'll be the first one on the menu.
Everyone seems to be pretty good, minding their P's and Q's. You see a little two-car tandem going there with Black and Moore, but I think it's just that tire wear. I don't think we're going to see the moves until we get to that fresh tire sequence, and that could be a big emphasis in this race, the fuel strategy. And we haven't had fuel strategy in a while.
Miles got a run there. He made a move, and then Ribbleton made a move, and then both of them lost their momentum, and now Mike Black is going to make a move.
Here come those lappers.
Derek Green is first one there. Then they've got the pack of four. Moore's going to go to the outside. Black to the inside. Ribbleton gets by. Owen Miles is going to get by. Evans going to get by. Slicing and dicing. The rest of the field will check up.
Comes the pole sitter coming up next for these guys.
Mike Black not really sure where to go. Moore's going to peak low. Moore and Ribbleton along the bottom. Mayhew gets put to the top by Nash. That's going to check up Black. Ribbleton makes it 3 wide. And now nobody has anywhere to go.
Yeah, it's just a cluster right here. Let's see if Evans makes the move. Ribbleton's going to make the move, and they'll take the lead of this race.
Mike Black still checked up behind Brandon Mayhew as here comes Deanna Jones and others with a big run. Tersick with a block on Ribbleton. And Ribbleton gets checked up to the top of the track. He goes. Evans to his inside as Moore with a run on the outside. And Tersick will block them again. Now Owen Miles looking to the inside. 3 wide for the lead. As they lap Tersick, Ribbleton to back to the behind Amanda Evans.
In the middle, yep.
Deanna Jones, though, will take the lead away from Owen Miles on the bottom.
I think Sailor's getting held up behind that group, behind Mayhew.
So Deanna Jones leads now after navigating that pack of lap cars. Parrish has moved forward as Sailor is on the apron. He's got the left sides down under the yellow line. Not sure what he's doing. We saw somebody else do that earlier. But they have mostly gotten that pack. That pack has been split up. You see Terzic. It's Derek Green's by himself now. Logan York's by himself now. Terzic right at the back now as Dennis Moore has been held up by all of them. Gonna get by Brandon Mayhew. That'll clear the leaders of the 15. And that just leaves the 14 of Foggin and the 910 of Dennis Moore to get by the 9 of Austin Nash. Lap 64 out of 100. And they are clear of the 9.
It stops are looming large, man. This right now, this race reminds me a lot of an old school plate race. It's not the most efficient in terms of numbers, but we're going to see some real skill. The side drafts coming with those fresh tires early in this next run.
And we totally missed this earlier, but a couple of laps ago, the 480 of Keith Kent reported a brake problem, and he brought it down the pit road to fix it. And the 480 of Kent is now a lap down, and he is behind everybody, so he is in danger of going 2 laps down, but he is up to speed. So if he were to be caught, as long as he could stay with the leaders, he would not be parked.
Ribbleton goes to the middle, Sailor comes with. Looks like right now, man, it's just like I said, it's figuring out the air, figuring out what you gotta do for those last 10 laps, and let's see who blinks first.
Right now, Caitlin Coyne and Deanna Jones doing a great job just holding side by side. You got Savannah Sawyer coming up here. A lot of female drivers at the front of the field. Vince, Amanda Evans. Got 4 female drivers up here at the front.
Yeah, they've been in some of the 4 best cars too. Ironically, I would say Evans has been the strongest one out front, but Deanna Jones and Kaylin Coyne are doing a great job, like you said, stalling these lines. That's what's going to take to win this race, I think, stalling in a way when those tires get old.
How about the 730 of Daniel Dill? And look, it took him no time at all. Dennis Moore right back to the front. Vince, I really feel like Moore has the strongest car on track right now. We'll have to see if that changes with this final pit stop, but I'd say, you know, if you're looking at a late race bet, this is the man to put the bet on.
Yeah, Moore and Ribbleton's been up there. He's been kind of quiet. Same thing with Will Parrish. Those guys, don't sleep on them. I'm pretty sure they've won a Dega before in the trucks.
Who'd you say there?
Ribbleton and Parrish, or is it just one?
Parrish did. Ribbleton is not.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm thinking of the. All right, I know what I thought.
You're thinking of the season before when the 45 won.
Yeah.
Ribbleton drove the 45 last year, but not in 2020. And yeah, look, it's looking like we might have some moves here. Yep, Dennis Moore's gonna pit. Roy Ribbleton pits. Blaine Saylor pits, and it checked up the pack.
Those 3 might be able to make a move here and run away.
Also, it looks like AJ Foggin was separated from the leaders. But did he pit already? No, he was separated. But that checks up the pack. That leaves us with Sawyer, Mike Black, Parrish, Daniel Dill, and Owen Miles in the lead group. Will Parrish is on the outside. I don't think he'll pit this time by. Everybody else is slowing up. Yep, and here they come. Mike Black, Sawyer, Dill, Owen Miles. How much can Caitlin Coyne and the others close the distance?
Not bad.
They'll get pretty close. Out of our leaders, Dennis Moore comes out with a huge lead. Saylor and Ribbleton are paired up in the draft. You got to figure Will Parrish will come in this time by.
I mean, Will Parrish could be the only one to make it on.
It's possible. They went exactly 30 to 32 laps here, so if anybody's guaranteed to make it, I'd say it's this one car.
But if he doesn't, I mean, it'd be a splash and dash.
Looking at the second group. It's going to be the 55 of Mike Black leading it out. Daniel Dill and Owen Miles are right there with him. Followed by Caitlin Coyne. Dennis Moore is going to go right on by. See how much of this pack pairs back up. There's McCall Skalicki, Amanda Evans, Deanna Jones. Cole Raymond was hindered big time on his pit stop. He'll lose the draft of the main pack. We know Gatlin Downey lost it 10 laps ago before pit stops. And there goes Will Parrish, done with his stop. Where will he compare? The 480 of Keith Kent will, I believe, get a lap back.
There's more.
There goes the 910. Dennis Moore, Mike Black, Daniel Dill, Owen Miles right there with him. Parrish will come out in front of Ribbleton, Saylor, Coyne, and Sawyer. And then Amanda Evans, Deanna Jones, McCall Skalicki, with Cole Raymond and AJ Foggin, the final group. So 4 groups here, Vince. as they're approaching the 480 of Keith Kent, who got his lap back. Remember, he pit earlier for a brake problem. They got it fixed. They topped him off. So likely won't see the 480 pit until maybe the end of the race. But he should form up into this draft here and be able to keep up without issue. And Arena McShane, Derek Green, they are the first two up. That could go 2 laps down and potentially be told to park it in this event.
Yeah, I think this is the race right here. As you see, Kent's holding up a little bit back. Couldn't tell who that was. 30. All right. I think this is going to be like I said, a short group type of races, 3, 4 in a pack, and we'll play it out in the Q4 because Q3 is going to end pretty soon.
So it's Dennis Moore in the lead, Daniel Dill in second, Mike Black in third. That's Toyota, Pontiac, Dodge, with Owen Miles in a Chevy in fourth, Roy Ribbleton in a Toyota in fifth, Caitlin Coyne again in a Chevy, Savannah Sawyer a Dodge, Blaine Saylor a Chevy, Will Parrish a Chevy. That is the top 9. 10th is Deanna Jones in a Dodge, with Amanda Evans in 11th with a Honda, and Mikowska Licki in 12th with a Chevy. So no Fords, Vince, in the running to win this race. Speaking of the Fords in general, the Fords left in the race include Brandon Mayhew, Jacob Athens, and then the 480 of Keith Kent. So really no Fords left in this thing. Want to take a look at who got kicked out of this race earlier, out of the retirees. I know we had some more Fords earlier. 16 of Austin Athens. And the 180 of Christian Vargas. Those were the only other Fords in the entire field. So not a lot of Fords made this main event this year, Vince.
Oh, and now that second pack is beginning to hunt. I think this could be a race about 9, maybe 10. I think it's going to be 9.
They're singling it up. Yeah, this pack right here of 3, they've got to catch the pack in front of them before this pack catches the main pack. They're close, but they got to keep it single file, and Deanna Jones is not looking to do that. So I don't think it's going to work out for them. I think it's going to be a race of 9, Vince, as Daniel Dill passes Owen Miles through turn 3.
We'll see with that pit stop if we have to do another one, but let's look at the gap. It was 0.44 versus 2. Let's see. 2.3. Yeah, they're about 1.9 away from the back of this pack. It's going to be close. Tire wear will be another problem to worry about. And more lappers.
Well, Arena McShane has gotten by Derek Green for 26th, but the leaders are here, and this could be the break for the second and third groups and maybe making this a 12-car race for the win. Of course,
Machine lappers is... Yeah, go.
Of course, only a 12-car race for the win if everybody can make it on gas.
Looks like Moore's going to be leading Q3 here at the end. Now we know who our contenders are. This last quarter of the race is all about going for it. Oh my goodness.
Man, that's going to check them all up. That should allow this second pack to close right up, because now the leaders are going just as fast as McShane and Derek Green. This is the break these 3 back here needed. But Mike Black will be the first one to the inside of the 650. Remember, if you go 2 laps down and it seems you can't keep up with the lead pack, you will be asked to park it. And it looks like Derek Green will not be able to keep up. No decision yet from the race officials. Nope, there it is. They told him. Derek Green's day is over here on lap 76.
Well, they're there. If that second pack is there, third pack might have fallen off a little bit, though.
So they weren't held up as much as I thought they would have been, Vince. It was only about a second gained for Sawyer's group. Now they're going to get the draft here off Arena McShane. We're expecting a similar decision for the 650 here, as it appears she will not be able to keep up either. Yep, and they've told her to pit, I think. Nope, maybe not, because Sawyer is still looking to the inside. Nope, no decision yet for Arena. They're playing it out, waiting to see if she can keep up or not. But that has allowed the 630 and others to really close the gap. Vince, it does not look like these three will close the distance. They need a caution flag to come out to help their case.
Yep.
As Daniel Dill looks to take the lead from Mike Black. Next lap cars up. Logan York would be going 2 down. Kev Shearer would be going a lap down. Then you've got Nash and Mayhew also could go 2 down depending on their pace. This group right here I don't foresee being caught. So you see Raymond and AJ Fagan. But that is what is going on right now. Dill is the race leader. 22 laps to go.
Here comes Logan York.
They're catching Logan York now. This should seal the deal on that second group catching up. There you see Caitlin Coyne already up here. Dill will go to the outside of York. He'll catch Kev Shearer on his lonesome. And he'll pass the 23 as well. A little bit of 3 wide there as they get by the lappers. And Arena McShane trailing behind Will Parrish. Still has not been told to park just yet. But likely that is coming. Logan York, we know, same pace as Derek Green. Doubt he will be allowed to stay on the track. Still continues to lead, Vince, but Dennis Moore is already back into the picture.
I think Dennis Moore is going to win this race if they keep this up, because he just seems to have the best when it comes to short run speed. Tire fall starts happening, he's up there. The only thing is lappers, and that's the one fact you can't control.
Yeah, we've seen lappers take the best car out of a win before. Still no decision here for the 002 or 650. I want to say the last time we saw the best car or truck not win a super speedway race was in the 2020 spring Talladega race with James Ellison, Vince, where he had the best truck, but he got involved in an accident.
It's possible. It's always possible. And we've seen, even in Pensacola, I think, when Carabelle won her race, we saw someone else was really strong, and they never won. So, it's possible. Because now we start to see, like you see Logan York's calling a day.
Yep, they've been told to park, and they were waiting for Arena McShane to hit the start-finish line to complete the pass on Logan York, and now she has been told to park as well. That'll leave us with 24 cars on the track.
Gordon Rippleton's looking for second. He's definitely one of those guys that's been quiet all day. Same with Mike Black. Well, Mike Black's been a little bit more up, but Rippleton's just been quiet all day in Parrish. Those two, if they work together, could do something, but he's at the back of the pack there, Parrish. Rippleton, has got any help?
Nothing close for help there. He's got Dylan draft, but no real support, and Moore will drop down in front.
You just got to get help. You got to get at least 3 to 4 on that inside line and make the move, because you're just not doing this straight up in a dyno fight. Because the dyno on that 910 is something today. It's something special.
They're going to be catching Austin Nash and Brandon Mayhew here shortly. But I believe that'll be the end of the lap car woes.
Could be the race for the win. I mean, that could be it. How you get past those two could be a big game set match right here. Well, match point. But Caitlin Coyne's had a strong car, and now you see Kev. He's definitely keeping up.
He is only a lap down, so he would not fall under that rule. Anyways, but we've got 9 lead lap cars up here, and then the lap down cars of Kev Shearer and Keith Kent. That will certainly play a bit of a role in this thing. As here we go. They're catching the 9 and the 15. They're not side by side. They've been side by side here and there. Ribbleton's going to put a move on Moore.
Oh.
Right as I had a scratch in my throat there. And Ribbleton will go to the inside and take the lead. Moore will get checked up by a lap car once again. But he's not waiting around to fall to all the way to the back this time. He's going to peek to the middle there and get by the 15. Kev Shearer's going to be held up the most, but he is a lap down, so no harm done to him. Look, Keith Kent is not right up behind Daniel Dill. I think Moore could drop to the bottom here if he wanted to, but he might just draft his way past with Mike Black and Savannah Sawyer.
That thing is a beast today. I expect him just to make any move he wants in his last stages.
So we see Nash and Mayhew fall back. They are likely going to be next to be parked. As Sawyer leads it at 15 laps to go. Vince, the tension is high. Everybody knows this race is getting close to the end. Can you make it on fuel?
That's the number one question.
Are you in position to make a last lap pass? Do you have the help? Will someone help you to make that last lap pass?
I think they're just leaving Moore to drive, man. Ribbleton's going to come up there, see if he can give him a push. But when you have the best car, sometimes you got the target on your back. And that's what could be happening right here.
You stole the words out of my mouth. I was thinking the same thing, Vince. You know, whenever you've led the most laps in a race, you know, sometimes the drivers are like, yeah, I'd rather he not win because he got all the time at the front of the field. And, you know, sometimes you've got drivers that will have that kind of mentality. And they all want to win. They all know they can win this race. But Moore has definitely been the one hooked up today. But they know if they leave Moore out to dry, they will all have an equal chance at winning this thing. But if they let him get back to the bottom, Vince, that'll be the worst thing they could do.
And that's the thing. Right now, it seems like Will Parrish is finally going to not be stuck behind a lapper. Owen Miles is trying to get in this pack here. What do those guys do? Because those guys sometimes pushing back so far, that's where the energy and momentum is. How runs are created. As you see, Sawyer and Dill, he's going to make the move.
Daniel Dill's going to make a move. Mayhew and Nash were parked the lap before. That leaves us with 22 cars on track.
Yeah, the attrition's been high, but now let's see if Dill should be able to complete. He's got enough help. He's got Coyne and Saylor.
Coyne, Saylor, Will Parrish also all along the bottom. Got 4 cars on the inside, 5 on the outside. But the 5 on the outside are hooked up a lot better than those on the bottom.
I think Ribbleton might... He has an opening. He could jump down. There it is.
He always thought about it. Owen Miles might drop down. That would be 4 Chevys in a line, but Miles is going to stay up top. And now Sawyer drops to the bottom.
Where's Moore at? He has a chance to jump. Oh, he's got a big chance to jump.
And Moore's going to drop to the bottom. The hole was there. Top 2 single file. Now can Dennis Moore work his way back to the front? He'll have 11 to go, this time by at the start-finish line.
Got plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Mike Black starting to fall back now as Dill will make a move for the lead. Moore will go with him. An attempt to pass Caitlin Coyne and Savannah Sawyer.
What do you do if you're Daniel Dillon? You know you're not the best car here today. You know Moore has the best car. Do you go to the outside or do you stick it on the inside? Because right now it looks like Moore's just going to do anything he wants at his leisure.
And Dill moved up to the top, trying to get more draft support from the top line. But Moore's just too strong in the aero department today. He might have one less car helping him, but he's going to power to the lead. Ribbleton gives up on the top. And now Moore will jump back up in front of Daniel Dill. 10 laps to go here in the Crown Royal 300.
Mike Black has been someone who's been a dark horse all day. He's been up there. He might be a big factor if Dill wins this race right now. Let's see if we see a timing move with 10 to go.
It's going to take some kind of coordination here where they just leave the 9-10 out with no help if they want to pass him.
There's no lap cars, I don't believe, in sight. It's all straight. Well, maybe.
Yates Terzic has lost the draft, and he could potentially be parked as well if he goes 2 laps down. But right now,
9-10 is something, man.
Look at this. The top 3 have drafted away from the pack. Mike Black is looking around. He's peeking the nose on Daniel Dill for second. And I'm not sure if you could say who the second best car in this pack is, Vince, but I think it might just be this 55.
It's the 55. I think he's been second. Third has probably been the 730. And then, honestly, fourth has been Saylor and Ribbleton. They've been about the same. I Coyne's up there. That second pack, if they can get close enough and start getting some wake, they might be able to have enough momentum, but there's no help. Ribbleton might get some here.
Kev Shear has just about lost this pack. Owen Miles is on the verge of losing them, as well as Keith Kent and Will Parrish, who are starting to fade away. And that just continues to allow Moore to lead. They will catch the 490 here at some point. Ribbleton's going to make a move on Blaine Saylor, but he's got no help. But Mike Black is going to make a move on Daniel Dill. Ribbleton will just peek to the inside of Saylor. And now he's got Sawyer hooked up with him.
That's a smart move right there, believe it or not, for Mike Black. I don't think he was the third strongest car. I think he was second now. The question becomes, it's just not enough cars to make the big move, though.
Well, you see Dennis Moore, he moved back to the top, giving the draft to the top line. That pulled the top down the straightaway. Now he gives it back to the bottom in the corner.
Dennis Moore is going to have to hope that lapper doesn't screw it up, because this could be the race.
You see Terzic there in the left corner of the picture. As now Ribbleton's going to get put 3 wide by Savannah Sawyer. Nope, never mind. And Moore will have to hit the brakes for Terzic.
Doesn't matter. I think Terzic's going to get to the top.
He's going to get
easy.
Pushed right in front of Mike Black, Daniel Dill, and Blaine Saylor, as Keith Kent has to make a pit stop. Remember, he pit early for a brake issue. They were not going to make it to the end no matter what, and he pits here coming to 6 laps
there
to go.
It is.
But there's the move by Ribbleton after Moore was checked up by Terzic, and now Sawyer is looking for the lead 3 wide, make it 2 wide. As Moore will file in line behind Ribbleton. Now you got to wonder, how quickly can Moore get back to the bottom? He's going to have to do it quickly here.
I don't know, man. I think he can do it. Now the question becomes fuel, because this is going to be a very close fuel economy run. Here comes Mike Black. He definitely has a chance now.
5 laps to go in the 2022 NRSL Crown Royal 300. Moore has been the star car of the race, but he is not leading here now with 5 to go. And he sits now at the back of the pack. It's Sawyer in the lead, Coin in second, Female Power at the front of the field, or Girl Power as they call it.
I like what what's his face just did with Mike Black and Ribbleton. They got a little run to the top, and they're going to try to sneak under Parrish here.
Moore is to the inside in front of Dill and Sailor. Black's going to make a peek on Parrish. Coin's going to make a peek on Sawyer.
There is Moore. Dennis Moore. What does he do?
Ribbleton made it 3 wide on Black and Parrish. Moore will follow with. It's going to put him third on the bottom. Keith Kent is ahead. We're being told that if they fear Kent will be in the way, they are going to ask Kent to pit.
Yeah, Sideline just has the momentum. I just think Coin will take this lead here, coming to 3, and
it's 6 cars to 2, Vince.
Sailor should be able to stay on the inside as well. There's the move from Ribbleton. There's the move from Moore.
3 wide, 3 to go, Vince, for the race lead. Moore has no help, though. Parrish is leaning towards the middle. Does Moore need any help?
He don't need no help.
Parrish now commits to the bottom, but Ribbleton has the momentum down the straightaway. Help from Daniel Dill, help from Caitlin Coyne. Ribbleton will drop down in front of Moore for the race lead.
Ribbleton made a good move. Now there's Kent. I think he'll be asked to park just in case, but we'll see.
We're being told that Keith Kent will be asked to pit next time by. Based on timing and scoring, they expect him to be caught on the white flag. They do not want him implicating this race finish.
Man, this is interesting. Moore has the best car, but he's going to have to wait to the last lap, and he needs to get the help. Ribbleton, I don't know, what do you do? Sawyer's looking underneath. That helps Ribbleton, but this could be mano-a-mano fight here.
Coyne is going to move to the bottom. There goes Dennis Moore looking for the race lead here on 2 to go into turn 3. And Moore will make quick work of Roy Ribbleton. To the race lead he goes. White flag in the air this time by Keith Kent. Brought it down the pit lane. 1 more lap to go around Pensacola International Superspeedway.
Dennis Moore knows what to do now. All he's got to do is just block both lanes, get the run on the top. But I don't know. This is a strong run coming on this last lap.
Savannah Sawyer, Caitlin Coyne, Mike Black, Will Parrish, all hooked up on the bottom. Can any of them make a move? Sawyer is not closing the gap. Coyne is going to make a move for second, and I think that's going to seal it with how strong the 910 has been.
That's it. I think the 910 got Zach. How about this? Dennis Moore, the strongest car all day. Can super speedway cars with the best package win? The answer is about to be yes.
And off of turn 4, Dennis Moore wins the 2022 NRSL Crown Royal 300. And while it is not numbered 91, the 910 joins the 91 in the history book. As a Crown Royal 300 winner, Gary Barlow drove the 91 Toyota to a race win in this event back in 2019. So this is the first time we've seen a sister car win the Crown Royal 300. That's what we're calling them, the sister cars. So the 910 joins the 91 in the history books, Vince.
Yeah, just like in sports car racing, 910, 9. My bad, I don't know what I'm saying. But point is, this has been an interesting race, Zach. I would say we had a lot of small ones that led into attrition. It wasn't the big one that people were looking at, like we've seen all weekend and leading up to this event. But the racing was good. The strategy was on point. And in the end, I think the best car not only won, but destroyed the field in terms of raw pace. That was a clinic by Dennis Moore.
Perhaps a bit of poetic justice After we saw the 91, who I have forgotten who was driving the 91 this week. We saw the 91 in Last Chance Qualifier number 3 just go for the absolute worst wreck of the week. Big time barrel roll. So we went from the worst crash for the 91 to the 910 having the best car and winning the event. So I'd say, you know, that's your yin and yang there, your poetic justice, if you will. One goes from the worst crash ever, and the other has the best car, wins the race.
Was it Menden or something like that? I don't think
Mike Manfer. That's who it was.
Yeah, Manfer.
Mike Manfer. So from Mike Manfer's terrible barrel roll in the 91 to Dennis Moore winning today in the 910. Got to give him the props there. That car was hooked up, and Moore did a great job playing the draft. He knew what he had under him. I think it was very clear when he was leading at the halfway mark that 910 car was the car to beat. Caitlin Coyne comes home second. Mike Black in third. Savannah Sawyer fourth. Daniel Dill fifth. We got Roy Ribbleton sixth. Will Parrish seventh. Blaine Saylor eighth. Deanna Jones ninth. And then McCall Skalicki rounded out the top 10. So Dennis Moore finished second in his heat race. Started in 12th. And he won today's event, Vince. What an event. Always have fun doing this. Happy to have you again, second year in the row. Everybody who watches my channel here, watch out for Digital Storm Cup Series signups and Jerky Pro Truck Series signups. That'll be about 2-3 weeks out. Last weekend of January. Watch out for those. Friday and Saturday. It'll be truck signups first, then Cup. And we'll see you guys for that stuff then. We're looking forward to that season. As we're going to start getting busy again here on the Bulldog Speed YouTube channel. But that's it from me here. Vince, any final words?
Now, what a great week. Great weekend of Pensacola racing. Some of the best drivers have come, and 177 entries, man. We took a while, but we're down with our final winner. Congrats to Moore. And I'm looking forward to that, like you said, the Digital Storm Jerky Pro action. Those are always fun events, and kick it off in the sunny state of Florida again at Daytona. That's it for me, though.
Well, that'll do us here from Pensacola. The official race results will scroll along the screen. And that is it. See you guys next time. Peace out.
Sorry.